All right, so buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving deep into some pretty intense stuff.
Oh, yeah, we're going deep.
We're tackling Chapter 4, Refining the Elixir.
That's right.
From the Lingbao Essential Teachings.
Yep.
And this is not your typical self-help book, let me tell you. We're talking ancient Taoist alchemy.
That's it, yeah.
And the pursuit of immortality.
Mm-hmm.
Through literally refining internal energies. I mean, wow.
Yeah, it's a fascinating concept. Think of it like a cosmic upgrade.
Okay.
You know, not just living longer,
right,
but transforming your very being, like your essence.
Okay, so when they say immortality here, are we talking literal, like physical immortality?
Yeah.
Or is it more of a spiritual transformation?
You know, the text is interesting because it kind of like suggests both. It weaves together cosmology, the human body, and then this alchemical journey.
Right.
And it seems to be pointing at both an extended lifespan and a very deep, profound shift in consciousness.
Intriguing. So where do we even begin with this refining process?
Well, the laboratory, so to speak, is your own body.
Okay.
And the essential ingredients are really the most fundamental energies of the universe. Yin and Yang.
See, now, I've heard those terms before.
Of course, yeah.
But honestly, they always seemed a little vague to me.
Yeah.
How does this text make them more concrete, make them more real?
Well, it uses these really, really vivid analogies.
Okay.
I think they'll help. For example, it compares the rising up of Earth's ki to clouds forming.
Okay.
And then they scatter and become rain.
Right.
And the way heaven's ki descends, it compares that to mist condensing into dew.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. So it's not just some abstract concept floating around.
Right.
These are opposing but complementary forces, and they're at play all around us, like in the natural world.
You got it, exactly.
Okay.
And that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Because then it takes this principle and applies it to the human body.
Oh, wow.
Suggesting that we're like a mini version of the cosmos, a microcosm, mirroring this interplay of yin and yang inside us.
All right, now you're talking.
Yeah.
Give me the specifics. How do yin and yang actually show up within us? Give me some details here.
All right, well, the text gets pretty detailed here. It says true yang, that's like the chi of the heart.
Okay.
Providing warmth, providing vitality.
Right.
And true yin, that's like the water of the kidneys.
Yeah.
Representing coolness and being grounded.
I like it.
It even compares the union of these energies between the heart and lungs.
Okay.
To the bond between a mother and child, or a loving couple.
Oh, wow.
And that's symbolized by the litigram.
Those are powerful images. Okay, so what happens when those energies are out of balance?
Ooh, that's a really crucial point. Imbalance is a huge concern in Taoist thought.
Yeah.
And the text uses the analogy of a waning sun and moon.
Okay.
Or obscured golden jade to represent a state where yin overpowers yang. Think of it like this.
Okay, yeah.
If yang is a vibrant fire, yin is the water that can either nourish it or, extinguish it.
Right.
Depending on the balance.
So, if somebody's feeling really drained or sluggish, could that be a sign of too much yin?
Yeah.
Not enough yang?
Exactly.
I'm just thinking about how that plays out in real life.
That's a great connection.
Yeah.
It definitely aligns with that idea that internal imbalances can manifest in, our physical and our emotional well-being.
Yeah.
And the text goes on to say that this depleted state makes it much harder to cultivate the energy you need for this alchemical process of refining ourselves.
Okay, so let's get to the heart of Taoist alchemy now. How do you actually refine these internal energies?
It's called the alchemical process of refining the elixir. And it all begins with this stage of gathering the medicine.
Okay.
And that happens during the elite trigram stage, where the dragon, which represents yang energy, and the tiger, representing yin energy, unite.
Wait, hold on. Dragons and tigers? This sounds like a martial arts movie.
Not quite.
Okay.
Think of them as symbolic representations of those core yin and yang energies.
Okay.
What's really interesting here is that the text emphasizes the importance of inner focus.
Okay.
Gentle breathing. And maintaining this kind of subtle warmth in the abdomen and kidneys.
So it's not about mixing up some magical potion or something.
No.
But it's about cultivating a specific internal state.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's about creating the right conditions within yourself for this alchemical transformation to happen. And then it gets even more intricate. It describes the qi circulating through the spleen, calls it the spleen palace.
Spleen palace, wow.
And then being transported to the yellow court.
Okay.
That's where it transforms into essence.
Spleen palace, yellow court. I love this imagery.
Right.
So our organs are like mystical locations on this internal landscape.
It's so evocative. And this essence, it goes through a fascinating progression. It becomes a pearl, then mercury, then cinnabar, and finally, the legendary golden elixir.
Now that's what I call an upgrade. But seriously, what does it all mean? Like, what's this golden elixir supposed to do?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
The text refers to it as a significant achievement.
Okay.
But it doesn't really spell out its powers explicitly.
Right.
However, given the context of achieving immortality, it's safe to assume it's pretty pivotal in that transformation.
Right. I'm definitely getting a sense of the complexity and mystery surrounding this whole practice.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah. But are there any like more practical instructions, like something someone could actually try to apply in their own life?
There are, thankfully.
Okay, good.
The text provides some key instructions for practitioners, but even those can be a bit cryptic. For example, it mentions gathering the medicine with the help of the jade rabbit.
Okay.
And achieving union with the yellow lady.
More mythical creatures. It's like I need a secret decoder ring or something.
Don't worry, I got you. The text actually provides a simpler explanation later on.
Okay, good.
It clarifies that the jade rabbit symbolizes the kidney's true water.
Right.
The yellow lady that represents the spleen's true liquid.
Okay.
And their meeting place is the yellow court.
Okay, that clears things up a bit.
Yeah.
So it seems like these instructions are all about working with very specific energies within the body.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Harnessing and refining those internal forces.
Okay.
And here's another tidbit that might make you want to start practicing right away.
Uh-oh.
It says that for every 10 years of damage to your foundational energy, it takes 1 year of dedicated practice to repair it.
Ouch. All right. That's a sobering thought. So are there certain times of year or times of day that are better for doing this practice?
There are. The text emphasizes aligning your practice with the seasons.
Okay.
Spring and winter are best for gathering energy, and autumn and summer. Those are ideal for refining it. It's all about working in harmony with those natural rhythms.
That makes sense. This is also fascinating, but I gotta admit, it's a lot to take in. What stands out to you the most so far?
You know, what strikes me is how this ancient text, it's not just about some esoteric practice.
Right.
It's like fundamentally connected to understanding ourselves as part of this natural world and aligning with its rhythms and its energies.
You're right. Yeah. It's not just about individual transformation. It's about like aligning with the universe itself.
Exactly. And that brings us to the next phase of our exploration.
Okay.
We've gathered the medicine, right?
Right.
Now we need to understand how to refine it.
Okay. I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's delve into those advanced stages and see where this alchemical journey leads.
All right, let's go.
We've been talking about this incredible alchemical process from the Lingbao Essential Teachings, gathering the medicine, transforming it through stages like a pearl, mercury, cinnabar, all leading to this mysterious golden elixir.
It is mysterious.
But what happens next? What are those advanced stages like?
Okay, so the text lays out this timeline.
Okay.
And it's pretty mind-blowing.
Okay.
So once the medicine is complete, like fully complete, its potency is fully realized after 100 days of dedicated practice.
Wow.
100 days.
100 days.
Then the sacred embryo solidifies after 200 days.
Okay.
And then finally, after 300 days, true ki arises and the immortal fetus reaches perfection.
Okay, those are some serious milestones.
They are.
But what does it all mean, like, practically speaking?
Right.
What's going on inside the practitioner during these stages?
It's all about the intensification and refinement of energy. Each stage is marked by what they call the fire cycle.
Okay.
Or, in the text, it's described as kind of like an internal heat.
Okay.
That, like, intensifies as you progress. So when the medicine's potency is complete, after those first 100 days, this fire cycle ramps up significantly.
Okay.
Then as the sacred embryo solidifies at day 200, the fire cycle is said to reach the small celestial circuit.
Okay.
And finally, when the immortal fetus matures at day 300, the fire cycle reaches the great celestial circuit.
Okay, those celestial circuits sound pretty intense.
They're powerful.
What exactly are they, and what role do they play in this whole process?
Okay, so imagine like energy pathways in the body, right?
Okay.
The small celestial circuit involves circulating energy along a very specific route, primarily focusing on the Yin and Yang meridians, which run along the front and back of the torso.
Right.
So the circulation, it's believed to like purify and refine the energy even further.
Okay.
And prepares it for the next stage.
So it's like a microcosmic orbit of energy flowing through the body.
That's a great way to visualize it.
Right, yeah.
And then the great celestial circuit.
Yeah.
It expands that circulation to include like more channels.
Okay.
Throughout the entire body.
Wow.
And it creates this, really powerful and transformative flow of energy.
It sounds pretty intense.
It is.
To achieve these advanced stages must require, like, incredible focus and discipline.
Yeah, absolutely. The text really emphasizes the need for isolation and deep inner observation for those that reach these advanced levels. It even compares the practice to, like, a pregnant woman nurturing a child.
Wow.
Or a dragon guarding its pearl, its precious pearl.
Those are some really vivid images. It makes me think about the discipline it would take to maintain that kind of purity and focus.
Yeah. You're hitting on a key point. The text warns that even a moment of negligence can cause irreparable loss.
Wow.
So it stresses the need for purity in, like, all aspects of life, right?
Okay, yeah.
How you eat, sleep, speak, even how you move.
Mm-hmm.
So the practitioner is supposed to be, like, as pure as an infant or as reserved as a maiden, with their heart just, like, unwavering.
Wow.
In its focus on the Tao.
It's fascinating how this isn't just about physical techniques, but it's about, like, cultivating a different way of being in the world. Mm-hmm. It makes you wonder what it would actually be like to experience these advanced stages.
I know. The text describes the fire cycle in these later stages as incredibly potent.
Okay.
Like, almost like a crucible. Where, like, the practitioner's entire being is, like, refined and purified.
So that makes me think about how intense this process must be.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about adding something. It's about, like, stripping away impurities.
Yeah.
Refining what's already there.
Exactly.
Is there any mention of, like, what it feels like to go through these fire cycles?
There are some hints. The text talks about experiencing, like, a profound stillness and clarity.
Okay.
And a sense of, like, oneness with the Tao.
Wow.
It also mentions, like, visions and insights. Almost like tapping into a deeper level of consciousness. Wow. But it's also clear that these experiences are very difficult to put into words.
Right.
They're meant to be experienced directly.
That makes me think about how we often try to, like, explain these complex things, but sometimes words just aren't enough.
I agree. There's a mystery to this process that just goes beyond language.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to this idea of immortality, right?
Yeah.
While the text doesn't really explicitly define what that means, it seems to be pointing to a state of, like, profound harmony and wholeness.
Okay.
Both within the individual and in their relationship to the cosmos.
It makes you wonder if this pursuit of immortality, as described in these ancient teachings, might have something to offer us even if we're not, literally aiming for physical immortality.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's a question I've pondered a lot while exploring these texts.
Yeah.
What stands out to you the most from what we've talked about, like with these advanced stages? What resonates with you?
Honestly, it's that idea of the fire cycle as a transformative process. Even if we're not talking about, literal immortality, yeah. I think there's a powerful metaphor there about, the challenges and growth we go through in life.
That's a great insight. And it ties into this idea of refining ourselves, not just physically, but, like, mentally and spiritually as well.
Right.
It makes me wonder, like, how can we apply these principles, even in a symbolic way, to navigate the complexities of, our modern lives?
That's a question I'd love to explore further. We've covered so much ground already, but I'm eager to hear your thoughts on how this ancient wisdom might be relevant to us today. So welcome back to our deep dive into Taoist alchemy.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
It has. We've explored the interplay of yin and yang.
Yeah, those fundamental forces.
The human body as, like, a microcosm of the universe.
Right, that mini version.
And this incredibly intricate alchemical process.
Refining those internal energies.
Yes. And now we're at the ultimate goal. immortality.
But the big one.
But as we've discovered, it's not as simple as just like living forever,
Yeah,
right?
Definitely not. Taoist immortality it's more about a profound transformation.
Okay.
Merging with the Tao.
So less about evading death and more about transcending our limited sense of self.
Exactly. The Lingbao Essential Teachings points to this idea of like wholeness.
Okay.
Integration.
Right.
Where the practitioner becomes a vessel for the Tao.
Wow.
Embodying its principles.
Yeah.
Expressing its creative power.
It's a beautiful concept. But is it actually achievable?
Well.
Or is it more of like a symbolic ideal to guide our practice?
That's a question that's probably been debated for centuries.
Right.
And like many things in Taoism, the answer isn't a simple yes or no.
Right.
The text uses both literal and metaphorical language. So there's room for interpretation.
So it's up to each person to like find their own meaning and application within these teachings.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most powerful things about Taoist philosophy. It encourages us to engage with these ideas, not as rigid rules,
right,
but as like living principles we can adapt to our own lives.
Makes sense. Even if we're not aiming for like literal immortality, what can we take away from these alchemical teachings? How can they like inform our modern lives?
You know, for me, the biggest takeaway is the focus on cultivating inner harmony.
Okay.
Aligning ourselves with the natural rhythms of the universe.
Right.
It reminds us that well-being, it comes from within.
Yeah.
Nurturing our connection to the Tao, you know.
The source of everything.
The source of everything, yeah.
It's a powerful message, especially in a world that's constantly pulling us in so many directions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And the text's emphasis on stillness,
right,
inner observation, purity of intention, it all feels so incredibly relevant.
It does, doesn't it?
Even amidst all the chaos of modern life.
Yeah, even in the chaos. And even though achieving like that level of mastery described in the text seems, well, really challenging. Right. Even small aspects of these practices incorporated into our lives, they can make a difference. Whether it's mindful breathing, cultivating self-awareness, or even just spending time in nature, you know? Yeah. We can all tap into this wisdom.
I know I've learned a lot from this deep dive.
Me too.
It's amazing how these ancient teachings can still offer so much insight.
Right.
For navigating like the challenges of the 21st century.
It's a testament to their enduring power.
It is.
And you never know, maybe by integrating some of this Taoist wisdom into our lives, we can all become a little bit more immortal in our own unique ways.
I love that. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the Lingbao Essential Teachings.
It's been a pleasure.
It has. And the fascinating world of Taoist alchemy. We hope you've enjoyed exploring these ideas with us.
Absolutely. And remember, the pursuit of wisdom and self-cultivation, it's a lifelong journey.
It is.
So we encourage you to keep exploring these concepts.
Yeah.
Maybe even like experiment, you know?
Right.
With incorporating some of these ancient practices into your own life. You might be surprised by the transformations that unfold.
Until next time, keep seeking, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.